Hi there, here is yet another informative video. Please hit the icons to like, subscribe and be notified. That way you won't miss out on future videos.
Alright, just making this video to talk about our SR16. It's a 2024 model which we purchased in March 25. Primarily I intend to use the van in an off-grid situation, and this photo that you're looking at is us at a camp down in Harvey Bay Way where we first found our problem with the solar. Seems to be a fairly common problem with a lot of vans. At this point we were only getting 2 to 3, maybe 4 amps out of our solar, and we couldn't last very long off grid at all. So I did raise a warranty issue. Rod from MDC in Brisbane was extremely helpful, and got to give him praise where it's due. He did make every effort to make us happy and look after us. So can't say enough about Rod's help there. But anyway, apart from all that, I kind of thought I knew what the problem was going to be after seeing many posts on Facebook and talking to other people, and that led us down a track of checking things out ourselves. So ultimately I decided to take this in my own hands and solve the problem ourselves. So what we've done, basically we took the solar panels off the roof, drilled out the pot rivets. We've installed riv nuts and stainless steel bolts. I've redone all the fittings underneath the panels on the roof. We've sealed them up and we've waterproofed them and taped them up with waterproof tape as well. So we've got solid connections. There's loose connections on the roof through the old MC4 connections. Seem to be a great source of loose, high resistance problem. So that's the first part to solve that. Now, once we did solve that, we noticed we jumped up in a nice fine sunny day here in Cairns. We jumped up to 18 to 20 amps of charge. And I thought, you beauty, that's terrific. Now, I've been a big fan. I have got to admit, I want the projector system to work. But what we found after getting that lovely amperage up is the projector system decides its cycles. So nothing wrong with what it's doing, but that's what it's designed to do. Cycling to me meant that we had a lot of downtime on charge, and that greatly affected the actual how quick it would take to recharge the battery back up to full, ready for the next day or that night, with the fridge and whatever we run off the 12-volt system. So I had to sort of bite the bullet and say, look, yeah, do what a lot of other people have done, and decided to put a Victron system in. So in doing that, I've looked at various manuals that online for our van, and we found a few issues. So what I'll do now is I'll just swap over to a few different slides, show you what's underneath our settee from new, and go from there. Right, from our online manual, the troubleshooting page for us is page 61. Looking at the bottom of the page where the solar panels picture and the projector picture is, we've got circuit breaker 4, circuit breaker 6, 7, 8 and 9. Also note that this diagram is color coded. It does make it a lot better, so you can confirm which wire you're moving around. Now, for our van, the wires are also labeled themselves, so there is a tag on each wire from the projector telling you what it is. So that helps to confirm that you are playing with the right wire. DC circuit breaker 7 in our van does not exist. we have not got one installed. So this is where I found the wiring diagram to be a little bit inaccurate. You need to confirm your van, your wiring, your layout. Do not take it as gospel. What I'm showing you is the correct way of doing things, or what is actually supplied. Your van may well be different. Your wiring may well be different. It's up to you to confirm everything yourself if you're going to go down this path. I'm showing this as an interest info, and it may help some people make their decisions and do what they want to do. If you've got any doubts whatsoever, go along and get a DC electrician, uh, vehicle electrician, get them to work on it, and that way you can guarantee you won't have any problems. All right. Right, so having confirmed we don't have a 30 amp DC circuit breaker 7, we've identified the 4 circuit breakers we do have, and they're the ones that we need to know which ones are which. So looking at the wiring diagram again, we can see the color coded, and then what we can do is put our next slide up and see I have labeled them solar 1, solar 2, projector controller out, and Anderson plug to projector unit. Now I've numbered the pins for the wiring pins, and that way it can make it a little bit easier to understand where I've placed the wires next. I've got a close-up now of the pin number 2 and pin number 3. They're bridged, whereas the diagram shows them going back from those pins to a 30 amp breaker. We don't have it. These are 2 bridged together. Then pin 3 has a green wire attached, and that goes straight through to the projector unit. All right, I've installed the Victron controller and the 30 amp circuit breaker onto the bulkhead wall underneath the settee there. You'll see a picture in a few minutes. But basically what we've picked up the negative wires from the solar panel, which is on the bus bar on the floor there, redirected them into the negative of the PV on the Victron controller, and then I've taken a new wire from circuit breaker 4 and circuit breaker 6, pins 2 and 3, and we've gone across to the 30 amp circuit breaker. We've then gone from the outlet of the circuit breaker into the positive of the PV for the Victron controller. On the discharge or the battery side of the Victron controller, we've gone from the positive, and we've gone across to where the brown wire joins into the circuit breaker. That's pin number 5, and that supplies that. We've taken a negative from the battery on the Victron controller and gone back to where the negative from the solar panels were in the bus bar before. When I say a bus bar, that is the big long black bar of connections. There's negative bus bars and positive bus bars, but that's pretty much where we're at. I've used 8mm cabling. All my cables are handheld hydraulic clamped, swaged ends and heat shrunk, so I can guarantee a good solid join. And yeah, it works very well. The green wire which was on pin number 3 has been terminated. I've heat shrunk it, so there's no live end. That green wire is no longer used now for the projector system. We do have the projector still set up via the brown wire and the red wire going into it, and that is from your Anderson plug if you go DC charging from your car. But in 6 months of having to redo my system, we've not used the DC to DC charger, nor have we used the 240 volt shore power through the AC charger. It's just haven't had a need. 22 amps is what I've seen. We have a constant charge, even 6 o'clock in the morning up here in Cairns. we are getting a little bit of a charge as the sun starts to come up and hit it. And it doesn't take that long for the system to be topped up. 200 amp hour battery, we think, for this Caravan is more than adequate. We do have other power stations which we've purchased so that if we are off grid, we like to park in the shade a bit, so we don't expect to get a full 22 amps, but having a external solar blanket and also a power station, if it's hot enough, we can still run the AC unit. So basically, we want to gear ourselves up to be off grid. We don't want to be paying $50 to $70 a night for a caravan park and put up with other people 2 foot away from us. It is a lot nicer. There's so many places up here and around the country to go to. You can go and pitch a buddy's spot and just enjoy life. Anyway, I hope this helps. Please check things out with your van. Make up your own mind of what you want to do. This is not for everybody. If you've got any doubts, go see an auto electrician. Get some advice from them. They'll wire it. May even wire it a little bit neater than what I've done. But hey, it's underneath the settee. I don't really care now. So it works and we're very happy.